thought we had uncovered the mystery. We thought we understood where he came from. We thought we were close to the truth. But everything changed once we came to realize there is more than one. The truth about Golden Toothless. Our world got turned upside down when we came across the living proof. There was more than one Golden Fury. We couldn't believe it, yet it was standing right in front of us. But how was this possible? How could there possibly be more? It became clear to us that our research was flawed and we had to look for a different angle. We went back to the ancient script about the Solar Fury and tried to tie the ends together. It seemed impossible to get more out of the scripts. The story was simplistic enough as it was. A Night Fury got slain and re-emerged from a golden statue. This would indeed make Golden Toothless immortal, and such an idea is hard to fathom. But it seemed like the only truth that would explain his strange behavior. Small passages in other texts wasn't any help either. Only short descriptions of the sighting of a golden Night Fury who disappeared after soaring across the sky. It seemed like looking to the past wasn't going to give us answers, so we had to look elsewhere. We decided to ask for the help of witnesses who had had a chance to gaze at the golden dragon.
Oh, I saw him. He was right here with me, but took off again quickly. But I was really close to him. He seemed normal enough to me, except for his vivid color, of course. I wasn't scared of him, but he was very mysterious.
Well, I don't exactly feel safe with that thing flying around out there. He is so different and mysterious, and people seem really uneasy about the situation. I don't know where he came from, but I wish that we could learn to live in peace with him somehow.
He is a dragon, and he deserves to be treated as a living being with emotions just like my Snafflefang here. All dragons should be treated equally.
He is the alpha. I have seen him, other dragons follow him, and he is the leader we have been waiting for so long. He must be, he is something truly magical.
He is an abomination and should be hunted down. He is hurting the community we have here at the school and should be slain. I don't care what he is or where he came from, he should be put down.
He is so fabulous. I absolutely love his shiny scales. I've seen him a few times, but last time wasn't such a nice sight. He was fighting with the snow wraith and he got pretty badly injured. He was bleeding a lot, but fled before I could react.
Bleeding? Blood. How is this possible? If Golden Toothless is constructed of gold, how can he bleed? Unless he isn't. The amount of gold required to make a life-sized statue of a Night Fury would be immense. So what if the Vikings of old didn't? Gold is a very precious and rare element, so the amount of gold the Vikings would have had available must have been limited. What if they didn't mold the statue, but rather made a gold cast around the corpse of the Night Fury? What if they used the body of the fallen dragon to make an accurate statue and yet be able to use a significantly smaller amount of gold? What if the Night Fury wasn't dead at all? No, that's impossible. The scripts are too old. It would be impossible for that Night Fury still to be alive. But what if he isn't? What if he is a phantom forced to carry around his own decaying flesh and bones? Unable to escape his golden prison. But wouldn't that create an awful stench? Unless the gold completely conceals the body, creating an airtight suit around his scales. That still means he is immortal. An eternal being, forced to fly in the skies forever. However, this doesn't explain why there is more than one. Before we had a chance to solve this mystery, a new one appeared. As Silver was in the field, she discovered a new one. A new Night Fury. Only this one had purple scales. A golden Night Fury was flying close to it, once again proving the fact that the color purple is key in order to attract Golden Toothless. This purple fury had the same glow and behavior as Golden Toothless, only the color was different. What if none of these dragons are the Golden Toothless of the ancient tale? What if Golden Toothless was merely the first? By killing that daily Night Fury, an innocent dragon, the Vikings of old gave birth to a curse. A curse that the Golden Toothless ever since has passed down to the Night Furies after him. After all, we don't know much about the Night Fury. What if this is a curse that falls on all Night Furies after they die? That they re-emerge to bring about vengeance? Or maybe their purpose varies. Maybe the colors symbolize the way they died. Golden is the color of purity, a dragon that was slain without reason, murdered in cold blood. Perhaps purple is the color of an honorable death, maybe a dragon fallen in war. Who are we to say? It seems as if the Night Furies can appear in any color. But they are different from the living ones. They seem without purpose, seem lost, not to mention the fading. They disappear and show up again only to disappear again. Like they are stuck in a loop of meaninglessness. Forced to be in this world without reason, without will, without hope, without fear, without love and without hate. But why? Why are they cursed? Are they suffering? Are they fine? Do they even know what they are? All the questions was flooding my mind and I had to get away from my research. None of it would make sense and it was starting to get to me. It was on this night, when I took a walk in the moonlight, that the salvation would show its face. I had been wearing purple ever since we started our research, not thinking much of it by now, but then it happened. I heard wings flapping behind me, but I believed it was just a dragon flying by until I heard the thud of landing behind me. I turned around to see him, a golden fury, looking at me. At that moment I thought I was done for. I thought he was here to take my life. So I ran, but he cut me off whichever way I turned. It was like time stood still as I waited for my inevitable doom, or so I thought. But it didn't happen. He was just standing there looking at me. The way he looked at me was like nothing I had ever seen. As if he had the knowledge of the universe in his eyes. It was like no human or dragon could look. In a strange way it was a pure and innocent gaze, yet at the same time a haunting gleam that made my bones quiver. But it made me aware that he was not here to harm me. There was no aggression in those eyes. I slowly tried to move closer and he let me. I knew I had to be calm, and despite potentially be facing a phantom, I had to remember the dragon training I had gotten at the academy. So I tried to offer him some dragon nip. He sniffed my hand but did not take the nip. He would much rather keep his gaze on me. Before I could even twitch, he nudged his head between my legs and forced me on his back, flapped his powerful wings, and took off immediately. I didn't have much experience with riding dragons, but for some reason I was able to stay on the back of him with ease. I didn't understand much of it, but from that moment I knew that this golden Night Fury had picked me to be his rider, just as I had seen other Vikings being chosen by the vivid scaled Night Furies. And suddenly all of the research became meaningless to me. Golden Toothless taught me about being alive. He was like no other dragon I had ever seen before, and he was the first dragon I was able to bond with. He was nothing like other dragons, and yet he was exactly the same. I was able to touch him now, and his scales felt just like toothless scales. But his eyes were different, and his spirit was like no other dragon's. It wasn't something you could see, it was something you could feel. His golden scales was simply a reminder to the eye. I felt like he completed me somehow. Although I still knew so little about him, I knew I could trust him. Whether he was alive or dead, he was here with me and I considered him my friend. I felt like I had found a piece of myself I never knew I had lost. But my newfound love for life was quickly shattered, as I discovered why Golden Toothless was such a solitary entity. The other riders turned against me. People I had known and trusted started attacking me, shooting fire at me and golden at sight. They wouldn't even give me a chance to explain myself. Everywhere we went, they would be there waiting for us. Golden Toothless did nothing to defend himself but always had to flee in order to protect me and himself. I wanted to let them know that Golden Toothless wasn't the vengeful spirit we thought he was. There was more than one. This Golden Fury was nothing like the original one. But it was hopeless. They were blinded by hate. Hate and fear. Fear of the unknown. It seemed like a never-ending nightmare, but then someday, a deadly nader stood up to defend us. I had never seen this nader or rider before, but it saw one of the attacks and came to help us. This restored my faith that there may be hope for me and Golden to live in this world peacefully. The attacks continued, but new defenders would show up. Some of my friends stood by my side despite the newfound company of Golden Toothless, while others turned on me. This once again proved that there was always bad to weigh down the good. There was good people and bad people. Which side I was on, I did not know anymore. Were we really as bad as people made us to be? What if by our mere presence we were cursing this world? Was my Golden Toothless truly cursed? Was he but a demon in shiny armor? A wolf in sheep clothes, and what did that make me? No matter what was right or wrong, I had made my decision. I never felt like I had ever fitted much into this world in the first place, and now with Vikings attacking the dragon that means so much to me, I didn't want to take it. I could not leave him. I needed him and he needed me. I finally understood the bond that is formed between dragon and rider. Whether he is alive or not, he is my dragon and I will stay with him. Tomorrow we will leave all this behind. Forced into a solitary existence. Having to live in a world that refuses to accept us. Golden Toothless knows a way. A way we can escape and finally be alone. The only way to be free from this hateful world. And that is the truth about Golden Toothless.